what is Konnakol?
So, Konnakol is a vocal percussion art form, right?
Yeah.
It's a language. After that, right, where you like any other language, it has grammar and it has emotion. So apart from the fact that its innate nature is rhythm, but if you see it from a point of view of a language, every language also has its own meter and rhythm. Whether it's Tamil, Gujarati, Spanish, French, there is a certain rhythmical pattern to how a language actually is. So in that sense, it's a vocal percussion language which has been there for more than 5,000 years, and the proof of its own existence is the fact that it's existed for so long, right?
Yeah.
I don't think any musician is greater than the art itself.
Absolutely.
Because it has existed for more than the musician itself, right? So, and the fact that it's accessible to anybody is what is the attractive part about it. That you are able to decode, understand, and like India primarily is not a read and write music. Right? If I'm not mistaken, most like strong cultural globally, I mean, like even if you take Spanish music or African music or anything that comes from even let's say folk music, they're not written music. It's all from your mouth to ear, right? And that's how it's been retained. So Konnakol has actually stayed on with that. The medium I learned you learn mridangam, where the medium of learning is Konnakol.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But everybody vocalizes it very differently, depending on the school.
For instance?
I mean, if I say, like let's say if a phrase like tikku taka tarikita, another school will say tikku tarikita taka. Another school will say rika chaka tarikita. So there are very different sounds that people actually use, because it was used in the context of teaching the instrument.
And this is both North and South India? Oh, only
No.
South India.
In the North, it's called Padant. So, and it's largely all tabla schools. I mean, all gharanas. The language is the same. Whereas here, every school has a different language. In fact, the dance, the way they say Natvangam and do Konnakol is also very different. Because it's for the dance. And the style of saying it is also very different. Having said that, like, if I have to put it this way in context, everything you do in Konnakol may not necessarily sound good on mridangam, and vice versa.
Correct.
So you have to orchestrate it to that. Versus in tabla, because it's syllable to sound, it largely is like, I mean, I would say both have pros and cons, because here you are I'm able to communicate as a tabla player to another tabla player. If I say, like a tirikita phrase, or a ghe, or a tin, all is the same.
It means exactly the same.
Right? So, it's easy. But here, if I meet a friend who's a mridangam player from another school, I have to understand what he's saying.
So there is some
because
room
his fingering to what he's saying might be different.
So interpretation
will be different. So I have to understand it and then play it. So in one sense, here you have a lot more vocabulary and it's free. Everybody can use it the way they want. Like if you actually hear the chenda players, they have a very different vocabulary. If you hear
tabla players use it?
Yeah, they also have different sounds. Like they'll say, like they use a word called kirra, right? So kirra, they'll say because it has that sound there. So to play kirra, tata kita kirra, they'll have that. You can do that there, but you can't do that. There's no such sound in the mridangam. So in that sense, it's a very forever evolving language, you know.
Yeah.
And you can incorporate other sounds in it.
Hmm.
But at the same time, the grammar and the rhythmical, the school of it
Uh-huh.
is fairly documented.
Hmm.
Like you normally follow what Natya Shastra has written, Bharat Muni is written in Natya Shastra. That's the tala structure. You know, the ideas of yati, which are like visual ideas of rhythm. All that is very common in the way largely South Indian percussion is learnt.